One of the biggest game changers I've ever found for basketball performance, both on the recovery side of things and just on-court performance, is yoga. Developing balance, opening up tight muscles, increasing your range of motion and your flexibility, and that's gonna allow you to have longer first steps. Be it more on balance for jump shots. It's gonna allow you to stop on a dime quicker. Pretty much anything you're looking to improve in basketball. When I started doing yoga, everything just started feeling a lot easier. I'm gonna give you the 7 poses that I found help most, and then at the end of the video, I'm gonna have a way for you to take all this stuff next level fast. Let's jump into the first pose. It's the tree pose. So this one I actually got from the Nintendo Wii. They had a balance board you could stand on and it would show you how off balance you are. And this one was tough. I actually saw some really impressive improvements, how consistently and easily I was able to jump high without it there feeling like there was any effort required. I could just get up there. Before doing this, it was like sometimes I'd get the rim, but not all the time. Your hands are gonna come overhead like this, nice and tall, and your other foot is gonna come. So you basically wanna have your foot come onto the side of your knee. As you can see, I already lost balance. And you're gonna hold that pose and try to hold it for about a minute or longer. If you feel like you're wobbling all over the place and you're falling, that's okay. It's gonna take time to get this down. The better you get at it though, the longer you'll be able to hold it. This is gonna help strengthen your core, obviously your balance in your legs, etc., etc., etc. And then of course you'd wanna do the other leg. So next exercise is actually really challenging in my opinion. This one is one of the more difficult ones, but it's also gonna give you a lot of the same benefits that the first exercise did, plus working on your posterior chain, which is your glutes, which is really powerful for having an explosive first step, working on your ability to stop on a dime, change directions, vertical jump, a bunch more. So for this one, we're gonna go on one leg. We're gonna have our hands come forward. This is Warrior 3. And we're gonna try to get our body parallel to the ground and hold that position. You're gonna feel this in your leg. Also, it's gonna work your back muscles quite a bit as well. And then of course you would repeat with the other leg. So just like this, okay? Trying to get your body parallel to the ground, keeping that leg straight. You're gonna have to really work on these first 2 poses on trying to center all your gravity right down the middle of your foot. So think about trying to get everything perfectly aligned. That's one big tip I've got for you. Next exercise we're gonna do is the Warrior 1 pose, which is a lot different, a lot easier, but gonna give you some benefits in working on strengthening your legs and opening the hip flexor. So you wanna get in a long lunge stance, have your back toes pointing sideways. So you want your entire body kind of like in a lunge stance pointing this way, your chest, this front toe pointing this way, and then the back toe, we're just gonna turn it so it comes out. From there, we wanna keep our torso facing forward with this front toe, hands overhead, and then lean forward, and then tilt your torso back. So you should be bending this front knee and then leaning back. And you should feel a stretch in this back leg and strengthening going on in this front quad muscle. Hold this for like 20 to 30 seconds. That's gonna help you work on your balance, your stability, stretching that back leg so you can get a longer first step. You'll be able to lean into your crossovers better. Then we're gonna switch stance. So again, back toes pointing sideways to our body, nice and long. Twist that body. My back hip flexor's tight. I'm having a hard time getting into it. But that's why I know it's a good time to do it if I can feel that tightness. And then deep breaths. About 20 to 30 seconds of that should be good. Next exercise, we're gonna go into 2 of the classic ones, the downward dog. So basically, you're gonna have your hands on the ground. You're gonna make like a bridge. So you could start with this kneeling if you want, if that's more comfortable for you, but you're gonna put your hands on the ground, toes on the ground, and then raise up, and you're gonna try to make everything straight and long. So think about trying to like drive your hamstrings back towards the wall behind you and try to press your heels down into the ground. You might not quite get that to the ground, but that's gonna give you a good stretch in your calves and also a little bit in your hamstrings, which is why I like yoga. You get so many spots at the same time. And then push down also, so you're trying to push your hamstrings back, but your butt kind of up while pressing your heels down. And you might get a little stretch in your back at the same time. So you're kind of pulling your legs in all sorts of different directions and pressing into the ground to lengthen those arms and your back. You can hold that for like 20 to 30 seconds. One variation is you can press one leg into the ground and then the other to work on stretching the individual hamstrings one by one. From there, you can come right into upward dog. Basically, you'll have your hips drop down, the chest up high. Sometimes I even like to try to bend my head back a little. This will really help stretch out all of your ab muscles, strengthen your forearms and your hands a little bit, and stretch your hip flexors in your hip area right here, which those muscles tend to get really tight. This is gonna help loosen them up so you can have a more explosive first step, jump higher, and a bunch more. From there, you can stay on the ground, go into a kneeling position. So you want your butt on your heels with your tops of your feet flat on the ground. Put your hands forward, okay? And lean back. This is child's pose. And I like to lean back really far. And if you do that, so you can do this with your hands down here too, and you might feel a little stretch in your lower back and maybe the tops of your ankles, which is great because that gets tight in a lot of basketball players. But if you put your hands in front of you and try to like pull back, so keep your hands glued, but try to pull your body back, you'll feel a great stretch in your upper back, kind of in your back side of your shoulders there. One of my favorite stretches for that right there. And you also wanna dip your head down so you can kind of relax that neck, get a stretch in there. Hold that for about 20 to 30 seconds, and you can always hold these longer if you want. I wouldn't recommend doing any of the stretches right before a basketball game. I would do those more after, and I would do all this stuff in the order I'm giving you, so you're getting more of like the balance and strength components earlier, and then stretching out after. Next thing you'd want to do is the pigeon lunge, one of my all-time favorite stretches. You want to have your back leg back, straight and long, so the top of your toes are on the ground. Front leg, try to get your shin parallel to your chest. From there, all you're gonna do is lean over that chest, push those arms out long in front of you and your torso forward, and hold that for 20 to 30 seconds, up to 2 minutes. This is a great stretch for your hips, groin, and glutes. Of course, you'd wanna flip around, go to the other side again, shin parallel to your chest, back leg long and straight, tops of your toes on the ground. Make sure you're paying attention to those details, because if you're not doing it that way, you're not gonna get the stretch. You could be out of it. Take deep breaths when you're doing all these stretches. Long, slow, deep breaths. Try to make it like a 2 to 3, 4 to 5 even second count in. And then an even longer count out. So that's gonna help you release tension in your muscles when you're in those positions, instead of being like all tense about it and like feeling like you're holding it. It's hard. It'll help you relax those muscles, get you more out of the stretch. Those muscles realize, hey, we can be in that position and you're not gonna hurt yourself. You're kind of telling your nervous system that, hey, it's okay, we can relax, and you'll get a lot more out of the stretch from doing it that way. Not right after you've done these stretches. I would say do these stretches maybe an hour before or the day before, and then do these crossover moves. You'll see a huge difference in how explosive you are with them, how much you're able to sell the fakes. Click the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon to catch the newest videos, and I'll see you in that video next.